warm up.
Who's this maroon next to me?
He said he's going to plummet our ratings.
Yeah, I am going to plummet the ratings. It's the nose job.
So you watched last week because you were recuperating from your...
everything.
That's the only reason you watched.
Everything in life I was recuperating from. The voice being gone, the nose surgery, my house being flooded. I was recuperating from everything. I said, I need some encouragement. I'm going to watch 3 of my favorite guys.
So tell us, what did you think? Well, Martin Sight and broadcast.
I thought it was great. I love hearing you guys talk. There's so much energy always, but there's continuity. You guys have known each other forever. But also about the topic, I mean, it's a shame the enemy's foothold when it comes to creation. The deep amount of faith it takes to not believe in an ultimate creator is kind of what stuck out to me. Is when I think of creation, even if you're not a Christian, the design. Like, it was clearly designed by an artist, right?
Right.
Sure.
And so that's the biggest hiccup for me, and that's the basic 2-step apologetics. First thing they teach is, if you can get somebody to believe there is a God and then move them to, it's the God of the Bible, the people that I have the hardest time with are the people who are like, there's no creator. This all happened. That nothing came from, or something came from nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what I love that you guys highlighted that.
Troubling to me, and we talked about this last week, is when you saw the demise of Israel, it was because they were worshiping all they had, and that was brought in really by Solomon, because he married all these foreign wives, and all these foreign wives had their foreign gods, and then little by little Israelites began to accept these gods, but they still worship Jehovah.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we are today, is we accept all of this non-biblical creation story, which is the Big Bang, or
I just don't understand how somebody can think that a worm crawls around, spins itself in a cocoon, and becomes a beautiful butterfly the kids chase happened because of bang. That's just, I can't even, don't get me started. What's today's topic about?
All right, well, we're going to, because last week we looked at, or started to look at, creation, God's ID. And by the way,
that's a cool title.
Creation.
You're like
God's
the king
ID.
of titles, PB. I can only create titles for other people's messages. My titles are boring. It's just like, it's about grace.
Well,
like,
and that's his ID too.
Yeah, that's true.
But really, what is his ID? I'm the God who created the heavens and the earth over and over again.
Yeah.
That's his ID. And by the way, last week was our largest viewership since we rebroadcast this. I did this years ago. Christine used to help me.
Yeah.
We did it from Tap Gallery. And then when we all got together, we decided to just start it up again and deal with relevant topics. But that was our largest viewership. He had over 2.4 thousand views.
That's so cool.
That's
on
awesome.
last week's. And I think this week's is better yet.
Well, let's find out. Welcome to Hijack Life Live, where we believe God rescues the dreams that have been shattered by the cruelties and injustices of life.
Now, so based on our live we did last week, what were like some of the responses that we got? Like you said, there were like, a lot of them were like good.
Yeah.
But we had like 1 or 2 that were.
I had one person that used to attend the church and they moved. They don't live in the tri-state area at all anymore. And they, what's the word I want to use? They took offense of the word stupid. And I don't even, I remember hearing it, but I don't even know what the context was. Does anybody remember the context?
No.
Kobe.
But
Take me back to the
wait a
80s.
minute. But this is what the person said, and I think there is some truth in that.
Okay.
They said it was repelling to those who intellectually desire to look at creation and evolution. In other words, they weren't saying, as a Christian, I believe in evolution, but I think that if you call people stupid, and I don't think we did that.
I didn't say,
right?
I never said somebody was stupid. I said it is stupid to think that just, 2 atoms flying around hit each other and bang! Now a cocoon can become a butterfly, and two people can have intercourse to make a baby, and a lemon drops to the ground, rots, and the seed grows a tree. To think that all happened by chance is stupid.
Let's quote the wise Cat Williams. You believe in evolution. Go out into your car
I love this.
and bang on your car until it becomes a better car.
Yeah.
Still a Corolla.
Bang on your Chevrolet
still a
Volt.
Corolla.
Yeah. And I said to him, he should have said, bang on your Chevrolet Volt till it becomes a Rolls Royce.
I keep banging it. Nothing's changing. Bang, 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 bang.
It's still a Corolla. It's still a Corolla.
Don't tell my kids that.
All right.
Well, he could be correct in his approach. We don't want to repel somebody, but neither are we going to dilute our message. And I believe you clearly said, it takes more faith to believe in evolution than it does to believe in Christianity.
100%.
And I think on the whole, we said, that whole thinking is stupid, but we didn't call anybody stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference.
Right.
Just like with children, that behavior is unacceptable, and we address the behavior, but we don't address the child.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that was stupid. You're so stupid. I hear parents say that all the time.
No,
I said,
it's terrible.
you're just telling your kid he's stupid. It's not. He made a stupid decision, but that's night and day
Doesn't
from
mean the
being
kid's
stupid himself.
right?
Yeah. And you're speaking cursings over the child.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
So
No.
I think it all began from this. We're going to quickly go through this. So
Sure.
we'll give them a little history, and then we'll pick up.
All right. According to 2019 Pew Research study, 62% of white evangelical Protestants,
Oh, well, it's because it's white people.
why they got to be white, believe that humans have evolved over time. According to a 2019 Gallup News poll, 33% of Americans believe that humans evolved with God's guidance, while 22% believe they evolved without it.
Now stop. Were you aware of those stats?
So what surprised me here was the theistic evolution. The 33% of Americans who believe that evolved with God's guidance.
I'm surprised that
Theistic
many.
evolution. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, I'm surprised
So
that many.
if you would have told me, 60% of people believe in evolution, that wouldn't shock me. But
Right.
that half of those people believe in theistic evolution, that surprises me a little bit.
That's kind of
And 62% of white evangelicals.
Yeah, that's even worse. That's
What's weird?
bad
Why did they put
teaching.
the word white in there? What about black evangelicals? What do they believe?
because
They weren't taking the
we ain't
survey.
innocent. We ain't
Michelle
weren't
from British
taking
Stone said, I think that poll is incorrect. I agree.
No, let me tell you, this is a Pew Research,
That's
and they're
that's
pretty
basically
solid.
the top.
Is
church.
that from
Yeah,
Fox?
yeah.
Is that from Newsmax
No,
or
that's
That's not
CNBC?
fake news. That's not
Research.
fake news.
Hey,
Yeah.
leave us out of this one.
Let's keep going.
For once, we don't have
You know
anything to
what?
do with anything.
All right, according
Probably
to
because blacks believe 90% of them believe that God created, and they don't
yeah.
believe in evolution.
Yeah.
You
When
know,
I
anyway,
woke this morning,
well,
According-
according this morning,
according to
there was
Pew
breath in my
Research,
lungs. I could almost do it.
you could hardly do it. Hardly.
Let me see
I'm
you.
getting canceled.
Painfully.
All right, come on.
No, when I woke this morning, I didn't have no doubt that the Lord will bring me out.
No, yeah, go ahead, do that.
I said, I'm going to come along, and I walked with God this morning, and when I walked with him, whoa! You got
Have you seen, not to get off topic, that little boy
Oh, yes.
that says, I have a word in the beginning. And he's
Yeah.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, let me tell you, that's all you need. In the beginning, God.
Yeah,
Said
this
everything.
kid is
it.
he's
You don't
amazing.
need the rest of the Bible.
He's
In the
so
beginning,
cute.
God.
He's so cute.
Go ahead.
We're getting canceled.
Anyway, according to a Pew Research Center, the Roman Catholic Church has long accepted evolutionary theory. Pope Francis is not the first pope to publicly affirm that evolution is compatible with church teachings.
Wow.
Evolutionary creation is a religious belief that God created the earth using processes of evolution.
So with all this information, does this not bother you?
Oh, it absolutely bothers me. I mean, listen, we just talked about it at the beginning, so I won't reiterate. But the church has fallen prey to the deception, and it always starts with deception. Mm-hmm. It's the lie from in the garden, clear through. No, start in heaven, when Satan thought he could supplant God.
Yep.
That's where the deception started. And he continues to deceive. It's just a lie from the pit of hell. I'm sorry.
Right.
There is no compatibility between evolution and creation. Absolutely none. So before we look at the facts, Let's give away a T-shirt.
Which one?
All right. So whatever one they want, Samaj.
Okay.
Whatever they want. So here's it. If somebody if somebody can give us the 7 days of creation.
Nobody's gonna get.
No. Wait a minute, Martin. No, we're gonna let them
Google it
cheat.
and cheat for sure.
They asked. We didn't. But if they can use Google or Siri.
Well, that's stupid.
No. But the first one who gets it.
Okay, the first
Right,
one.
the
I
first
guarantee
one.
it's Michelle Britt if she's still on. But let's
So
go.
whoever gets all 7 when we come back at the program will know it because it'll be the first person it'll be the earliest, right?
earliest
We'll
comment.
give you a shirt. Because Tracy, I'm sending out her shirt today.
Nice.
She wanted Make Life Count. That's the one she wanted in small.
I bet Blake wants one too.
Yeah, he does, but he won't wear it.
That's fair.
All right.
Accurately depicted.
All right. This broadcast is going to have 3.4 thousand
Yeah.
views by the time we're done. All right.
All right, so look, so the human body and all that comprises it is the most complex and intricate of all God's creation.
Intricate.
I'm sorry, intricate.
Yes, you got it.
Of all of God's creation. So you have the skeletal system, which has 3 main functions. Number 1, it protects our vital organs. Number 2, it gives the body shape. And number 3, it allows us to move. The brain communicates with the nervous system, which in turn communicates with muscular system, which in turn moves the bones.
And there's the Trinity. The Father is the brain. Jesus is the flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spirit is the life source. That's how I always think. And we're created in His image. That's exactly what we have. We have a brain, we have a body, and we have a life source.
In GCG, we talk about being created in God's image, the trichotomy of man. So
Yeah.
God is triune,
Yes.
3 in 1. Man is triune. That's what separates us from the animals. As much as, I tease all the time with my kids, and stuff like that. And I go, they go, Daddy, you don't like our puppy, do you? And I said, I don't, but I understand people who love them, and that's fine. But you have to understand, there's people who equate animal life with human life.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell the kids all the time, and when we talk to GCG now, I say, look, the difference is animals are duality. They have emotion and they have body, but they don't have spirit. That's the difference.
They have life.
They don't have life, but they don't have a
When they die,
spirit.
they die.
Yeah,
It's not eternal. They don't have an
Exactly.
eternal spirit.
Yes. And so
Yeah,
we're
we
made
could
in
argue
His
they have a
image,
spirit, but
trichotomy.
not an eternal spirit.
Yeah, spirit or soul, but
Because
not
remember when
eternality.
Job,
Yeah.
God replaced everything double, but he didn't.
Right.
But he didn't replace his children double. In other words, that if he had 3,000 sheep, he gave him 6,000. But when he replaced his children, he had 10. He only gave him 10
Right. Because, and that shows
because they were still living.
they're still living. Yeah.
All right, I think you're up,
Eternality.
Mark. We better
Yeah.
move. We won't
Good
get done.
Lord, the muscular system is half the body
A little
weight.
too heavy for Mark.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
Yeah,
it.
go
Your
ahead.
body contains more than 640 muscles, which
Yes.
hardly ever work alone.
Yeah.
Muscles cannot push, only pull. Therefore, they're arranged in opposite teams so that you can extend and retract.
Yeah, mine are only pulling.
When you get old, you're right. They're only working one way. Anyway.
Yeah, the circulatory system is comprised of the heart, arteries, capillaries, veins, and blood. This is the part of the body that circulates approximately 4 to 5 liters of blood, which in turn delivers oxygen and nutrients to our body cells, then carries that which is not used away. Waste, or in our case, up to our main floor.
Yes. That was good, Blake.
Yeah. What's the point, PB?
The point is that evolution tells us that all of this just happened by time and chance and random selection. And now, this is science. It's a shame that we have labeled science with evolution. Because true science
Because there is science.
backs up the Word of God.
Yeah,
Or I should
always.
say the Word of God backs up true science. Right? So creation says God is the master designer, which was our first point when we just opened up having a little fun. And He designed the universe and everything in it, and He did so, it had value and purpose. If it's random selection and chance, it doesn't have value and purpose. Right?
Right?
So, I mean, that's where we are here.
Well, you look at the nervous system, it's the most complex and delicate of all the body systems, comprised of the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. And it is the nervous system that sends signals to the 5 senses, enabling us to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. And, we could go on, but there's still the immune, digestive, respiratory system in our 5 senses. We could go on about that, but it just shows God's creation.
All right. So let's go back and give them the answers.
Okay.
All right.
The 7 days of creation.
All
we're
right.
talking about.
So Samaj, you're first. Day
All right.
one.
So day one is light and darkness.
Day 2 separated the firmament, which is the space above the earth, from the waters.
Day 3 is seed-bearing plants and trees.
Day 4
Is sun, moon, and stars.
Day 5.
Living creatures in the sea, in the air, and on the land, the 5th day.
And day 6, on the 6th day, God said, "Let us," showing the Trinity, "make man in our image," again showing the Trinity, male and female created he them.
And on the seventh day, he just relaxed. Day on the beach.
He rested. He chilled out. So who is the winner? We'll let them know at the end, right? We'll
Yeah,
let
we don't have
everybody
word.
know, and just tell us
Everybody-
what shirt you like. You can take a Make Life Count, Stop Gossip, or Live for Jesus. And even a bad day will be a good day.
Yep.
So let's pick up where we left off last week, God's ID. So we're going to read, this is probably my favorite passage of Scripture relational to God's ID.
All right,
Okay.
it's Job 38, 39,
It's
and 40.
long, but it's worth it.
All right.
All right. Let's go.
Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Who marked off its dimensions? Who stretched a measuring line across it?
This is awesome.
On what where its footing set? Or who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy.
Isn't that awesome? So God
Yeah,
tells us
beautiful.
that when He created, there was a chorus, there was music when God created it. And then the morning stars sang and the angels shouted that while He's creating. I mean, that's why they say, "Holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come."
So were the
right?
angels always like God was always?
No, they were created. So this is creation, but creation, the angels sang when He created this, the earth, the stars, the moon, the planets. I just love it. I can picture it. Can't you picture all heaven singing? Oh my gracious.
I sure can't.
No.
Too big for my brain. Verse 8. Who shut up the sea bottom doors when it burst forth from the womb?
Oh, wait, stop for a second. So, a lot of times we use this word for awesome, right? Like the food. Oh, that was awesome. Or we watch, I remember one time, Brodeur made this this save where he flipped up and he hit it with his pad. And I went, oh, that's awesome. And then I'm thinking, that ain't awesome. Read Job. That's awesome.
I mean, who shut up the sea floor?
Yeah.
That tells you he let water come up and then closed the door.
That's right.
When I fixed limits for it and set its doors and bars in place. Verse 11, when I said this far, you may come and no farther. That's talking about where the water stops on the seashore. What keeps it from keep going and going and going? God did. Here is where your proud waves halt.
Yes. So I did a post a couple of days ago because I'm reading through Joel. And it said, now therefore God says, turn to me with all of your heart, with fasting and weeping, with mourning. So rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God. For He is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, great with great kindness, and He relents from doing harm, meaning He doesn't want to. Now, I supported these verses with a post relational to social injustice, changing the definition of marriage, killing babies in the womb, just saying, don't you think America should repent from these things, right? And somebody responded, well, what is marriage?
Oh boy.
Right? So I kind of knew from the angle they were coming. So his next question was relational to same-sex marriage. And he eventually said, and that's everybody's argument,
Right.
well, how can love be wrong if it's love? Right? And that was his question. So finally he said, well, I don't see how love can be wrong. God is love, and if you love, I knew where he was headed. So I just said, everything has boundaries.
Yeah.
Right? The planets have boundaries. Where would we be if it didn't have boundaries? Where would we be, like you said, if the sea didn't have boundaries?
Yeah.
What would be in your house if the pipe didn't set a boundary for the sewer?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Really, let's talk about it. Everything has boundaries.
Yeah.
So he
Food.
goes on.
God created food with boundaries, sex with boundaries. Like literally, Every
Everything
good gift God gave us,
has
he
a
said,
boundary.
I want you to enjoy this to its fullest. Here's how you do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's keep reading in this passage.
Yeah. All
Go
right.
ahead, Blake.
Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn its place? Have you journeyed to the springs of sea or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? What is the way to the abode of light? And where does darkness reside? Can you take them to their places? Do you know the paths to their dwellings? Have you entered the storehouses of the snow or seen the storehouses of hail, which I reserve for times of trouble, for days of war and battle?
Stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's God's arsenal.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah. Look what he did to Germany. How did he stop them? With the weather. How did he stop Napoleon? With the weather. Think about it.
Yeah.
So we think God says he's sovereign over the affairs of men and he rules over nations. That's how he rules over nations.
Yeah.
You can't fight the weather.
No. No, you're
Climate
the
change.
weather is
Wish I
undefeated.
could.
It's undefeated.
I think
Yes.
we're fighting
I could.
the weather with climate change. You can't fight the weather.
I
Sorry.
wish I could. I'd put a big
Keep
dome
reading,
over my
Pastor
house.
Blake, I'm sorry. And if he wanted to, he'd send a tornado and blow up
the
your,
normal, yeah.
your dome. You can't fight God.
No, undefeated. What is the way to the place where the lightning is dispersed, or the place where the east winds are scattered over the earth? Who cuts a channel for the torrents of rain and path for a thunderstorm? Does the rain have a father? Who fathers the drops of dew? Who gives womb? From whose womb comes the ice? Who gives birth to the frost from the heavens when the waters become hard as stone, when the surface of the deep is frozen? Can you bring forth constellations in their season, or lead out the bear with its cubs? Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set up God's dominion over the earth?
You know what I get out of that?
What?
How many years ago was that?
Of Job?
6,000 plus, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
So imagine that was
Well,
written.
no, actually 4,500, because we didn't first get our first ratings, but that was given to Job then.
So
because he's
six-
one of the original
so
patriarchs. That's
so my-
4,500 years ago.
So 6,000 years ago, all those things without telephones and mailmen and computers, all those things were detailed, like with such detail, without anything.
Right.
Yeah,
No-
well, remember,
no
he
tech.
named the constellation. He named every star in heaven.
It's crazy.
We read that last week.
Yeah, yeah.
You read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all that happened now by random selection, time and chance. That's, oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, keep reading.
Well, it says, do you send the lightning bolts on their way? Do they report to you? Here we are. Who endowed the heart with wisdom or gave understanding to the mind? Who provides food for the raven when its young cry out to God and wander about for lack of food? Do you know when the mountain goats give birth? Do you watch when the doe bears her fawn? Do you give the horse his strength or clothe his neck with a flowing mane? He laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. He does not shy away from the sword. Does the hawk take flight by your wisdom and spread his wings toward the south? Wow. Does the eagle soar at your command and build his nest on high? Who has a claim against me that I must pay? Everything under heaven belongs to me. Who has a claim against me that I must pay? Everything under heaven belongs to
This
me.
is crazy that this was written so long ago.
Yeah. No, I just love it. It's my
This is
favorite
the most
passage.
mic dropping, like,
This,
like, yeah,
this is God's ID, baby. Just read Job when he says to Job, hey, you're really arguing with me?
Yeah. This is like the time in the Old Testament God just goes off.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And he just goes
It
off.
is. I love it.
Yeah.
And yet, the greatest proof of God's creation is Jesus in the flesh, and we're going to
Yep.
look at that next week.
Incarnation.
All right? Yeah, because we're going a little long. People come pick it up later.
All right, well, that
Yeah,
sounds
great
good.
audience.
Listen, make sure you share, comment, and like. And if you'd like a transcript, make sure you put it in the comments, and John will get that emailed out to you. If there's something you'd like one of us here at Hijack Life Live, a.k.a. The Other View, make sure you put it in the comments, and we would be happy to discuss your topic. Let's talk about church this weekend, Pastor Blake.
Yeah.
What is your sermon title?
Well, you know I'm terrible at titles, so it's
Give it to me, I'll give
glory
you one.
and grace.
Sounds like a country song.
Glory
Yeah.
and grace.
It's,
Yeah, the
TNG.
dog returns home. The ex-wife is back. No, it's it is going to be. We're continuing through John 1. I'm going to be in verses 14 through 18 this week, and just excited because it closes up the sermon series on identity.
Last week was one of your strongest.
I appreciate
Does
it.
he say that every week?
No, I don't. But,
He
but
always tells me I do a good
don't
job,
you think it was one of
but-
his strongest?
I always like it.
Mark Love 2 weeks ago though.
Did he? I
That's
liked
when he
it.
was like, that was great.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I did 2 weeks ago, but I liked. I like this week. You know why? I liked your vulnerability in the sermon, where you were willing to talk about identity and how so many people in today's world really they don't have an identity.
No.
And that just, I just thought, how many people come from broken homes? They have stepdads,
I just
multiple
saw-
stepdads, and they don't even know who their dad is. And I'm thinking, I just thought last week you struck a nerve.
Did you see what I posted about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I don't know, refresh my memory.
So when he was governor of California, this hotel used to say you can stay in any suite you want for free. Governor, you're phenomenal. This, that, whatever. When he got out of office, he went to the hotel to stay there. I don't know if it's true or if it's a fable, but when he went
It
there,
works. The illustration works.
He went there and they insisted that he had to pay because they were oversold. So he went to the statue, the big statue of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And there's a picture of him, sleeping in a sleeping bag, and he was just showing that what you have now will not last forever. The fame you have now doesn't count. The wealth you have now doesn't count. And it was a great illustration. I did post it, but it reminded me of that.
Well, that's a lot like my print, The Never-Changing Truth and Never-Changing World. The Beatles are in there. They're number one. Who's number one today?
Taylor
Cassius Clay,
Swift.
I'm the greatest. Who's number one today? And you work through that whole print, and everything's changing, but the person who holds it all together, which is the head of Christ.
Well, let's close out. Brit,
Yeah.
come on over.
Yeah, come on in, Rocco.
Yay.
Got a new name.
Just in time. 1, 2, 3.
Live for Jesus, and even a bad day will be a good day. If you want the shirt, order it.